Yeah, what's going on? This is Patrick from werewolfpat.com. I'm here in Prague, Czech Republic, and I'm freezing. Doesn't matter though, because tomorrow I'm flying to Los Angeles, California. Among other things, we'll do a tour of the Rickenbacker factory in the Los Angeles area. Rickenbacker is a company that was established in the early 1930s and one of the very first ones to offer a production electric guitar. Rickenbacker's popularity exploded in the 1960s thanks to musicians such as the Beatles, Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, the Byrds, and many more. Rickenbacker makes high-quality guitars and bass guitars, and we're going to show you firsthand how they're made. We're going to show you every step of the construction and have a chat with Ben Hall, who is the general manager of the factory. So stay tuned, and we'll see you at the Rickenbacker factory in a couple of days in Santa Ana, California. Right on! What's up, everyone? I'm here at the Rickenbacker factory in Santa Ana, California, and I'm here with Ben Hall, who's the factory manager.
That's right.
Actually, your grandfather was one of the main people who started the Rickenbacker company.
That's correct. He actually bought the company in 1954 from Adolf Rickenbacker.
And then your father took over?
That's right. He took over control of the company in 1984. So it's effectively been in the Hall family since 1954.
Amazing. And as we can see here, we're in the museum here actually.
That's right.
And there's a lot of incredible guitars and also bass guitars. Do you know the history behind most of these models? Or?
Well, a lot of these models go back really far back into our history. I mean, in this room you'll see guitars from the 30s all the way up through now.
Mm-hmm.
For example, an anniversary model for our 75th anniversary. So we had a special color made and we lasered our pick guards to show the 75th year logo.
Yeah, it's a beautiful guitar actually. So I would like to ask you, what goes into the production of Rickenbacker guitar or bass guitar? Because they're all made here in California.
That's right.
Unlike some other people who build guitars in Asia or Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
the Rickenbacker guitars are all made here in Santa Ana in this facility.
That's correct. Every Rickenbacker is made right here and has been since the inception of the company.
Mm-hmm. So you buy the wood from Eastern United States and sometimes Canada, you told me, right?
The wood primarily comes from Michigan. It's Eastern hard rock maple, and there's some wood that does come from Canada that we do use too.
Okay. So you have the wood shipped out here, of course, then you store it, and then you start making the necks. But you have a new procedure for the necks, which consists of gluing two pieces together in a very special way.
That's right. It's we call it the two-piece neck, and it was introduced in 2009. And what it is instead of one solid piece of maple neck, we have two strips that we get, and we plane each side of the strip and we glue them together so that the grains are kind of counteracting each other. This helps prevent warp and twisting later on and makes for a stronger, more playable instrument.
In fact, you also use a double truss rod. So
right.
Combined with this new technology, you're guaranteed that the necks do not warp and are easily adjustable.
Right. The necks are a lot more adjustable with the dual truss rod system and the two-piece neck.
Mm-hmm.
So the rate at which a neck will warp has gone down a tremendous degree.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So then it goes to a CNC machine to be shaped. So you get the general outline of the neck and the bodies, but everything else is done manually, right?
Correct. We'll take the raw blanks from the rough mill and we'll take them to our CNC area where it's kind of bridging the gap between rough lumber and finished product. So the machines will put in the truss rod slots and carve the headstocks out and make the fretboards. And then after that process, it's not complete. We rely on the skill of some of our craftsmen to finish off some of the details and really give it the final look.
Because I saw that there's a lot of people doing very precise manual work, sanding and filing and making sure that every inch of the guitar is perfect. I was quite impressed by this.
Right.
Amazing the amount of manpower it takes to build a guitar.
Yeah, that's the one thing we really strive for, is the attention to detail. Because machines can only take it so far, and then after that you really need the human touch to know if it meets quality standards or not. So it's about 50-50 as far as machine labor to hand labor.
Mm-hmm. Once the wood has been finished, it goes to painting.
The first step in the finishing process is a sealer, and it's a UV curable polyester sealer. After that's cured in the oven, we'll take it outside to get sanded with 220, 320, 400 grit sandpaper. At that point, the guitar is taped up and brought into our painter, who paints the colors by hand: the fire glow, the jet glow, the midnight. Then after those guitars are dry, they come out, and we have somebody who scrapes the binding, which is a very time-intensive job and something that really not everybody's able to be trained to do. After that, it goes back into the paint room and we spray a clear coat of UV polyester. Then that comes out upon drying, gets sanded, and we repeat that step, so it gets another coat after that. So it gets effectively 3 coats of clear before we do the final sanding and polishing.
Well, what's interesting is that you make your pickups here on the premises.
That's right. We make all of our pickups here, all of our bridges. We like to keep these components in-house. We can ensure the quality. We don't buy anything from other pickup winders. It's all stuff we build here.
What would you say makes the Rickenbacker instruments so special?
Well, I would say that on one count you have the sound, which is a sound that people would recognize from the 1960s. It's just a sound that kind of defined a whole generation. But also, taking it kind of into the modern age, we're a company that really puts a value on detail and putting forth the best effort and work that we can do. And to top it off, keeping it all in America and not outsourcing our production to China.
Actually, you not only build guitars, but you also restore instruments from famous musicians. And
Right.
I saw a video that your father was doing, and he was presenting the bass from Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. And Lemmy had brought the bass in for restoration.
We're fortunate to have the bass that belongs to Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. This actually was his original bass. Lemmy has asked us to restore it to its original condition, which is going to be quite a challenge. Not only has the finish basically been totally removed, there's been a lot of modifications of the instrument. Certainly a venerable old instrument here that's been through the rock and roll wars 3 times over, and has a very unique odor as well. Obviously, this has been in a lot of clubs, and I'm sure it could tell an awful lot of stories.
Now it's done, and it's here.
That's right.
Let's check it out. Let's see how it came out, because this thing needed a lot of work.
It did. They did a lot of their own modifications on it over the course of its history, and they brought it back to us because they wanted us to put some vintage appointments on it, such as the nameplate, pick guard, the tailpiece, the horseshoe pickups, and the knobs.
Actually, next to it is a guitar from Joe Walsh.
That's right.
From Eagles. I mean, everybody knows Joe Walsh, but this one was restored also.
Yeah, this is Joe Walsh sent this into us for restoration the other day, actually, and what it is, it's a Roger McGuinn limited edition that Joe had, and they sent it back to us so that we could fix the bridge and change the strings and do a few other finish restorations, because this is probably a 20-year-old guitar right here.
Mm-hmm. Looks good. So Ben, I have one last question before we go.
Sure.
Do you make left-handed guitars?
We manufactured left-handed guitars up till about 2 years ago, and then we stopped for taking orders for a while. But in 2011, you'll definitely plan on seeing some left-handed instruments.
Awesome. I think I'll be one of your first clients.
All right.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you again very soon.
You too.
Take care.